Hello, hello. I'm so excited about today's venture. We are going into the ABCs of money, transforming your money mindset, and so much more for 4 Saturdays coming up. My name is Brandi Veil. Thank you for being here on the YouTube. Thank you for just being curious about what's next for the economy, what's next for your life, and what's next for what you're leaving in the future for generations to come. I'm a transformational educator and I focus on the world at large and where we're headed through technology, innovation, and of course, wellness, which brings me to why I chose money as my nucleus, because it's all about currency. And so today on this video, we're going to go deep into the very basics of money. And I want to introduce our lovely guest and also business partner, Adam. He is here to just bridge the basics. We're going to get into some of the fundamentals on back end, fundamentals on the ABCs. So awareness and assessment, understanding the B, which is building blocks and financial stability, and then C, which is cultivating wealth and financial growth. For us who probably already have this, a lot of us out there, we're already fine, right? We're fine for ourselves. We're doing good. We have our jobs. We might already have our nest egg, if you will, but some of us don't. And this is a huge issue in our world today. You know, there's a lot of poverty out there, and the poverty comes from a lack of knowledge. And maybe like me, my parents did not teach me anything about finances. They didn't teach me how to save. They told me nothing about financial instruments. All they said is, I'm working 5 jobs. We'll get to you later. They did the best that they could. And then I quickly saw, wow, I am in a situation and I didn't have the tools. And of course, education models, they do not give you the skill set to go into a marketplace. And so as a young entrepreneur, I had to figure it out for myself. And it took me nearly about 15 years after a car accident, having to figure out finances. It was a big struggle. So, with a lot of learning and a lot of learning curves on how to save money, invest money, I became an entrepreneur, focused on financial literacy, and I got really inspired about the world that's coming. We're in the midst of AI and algorithms that are going to retrain how money moves and how communities build, but the foundation isn't going to change. And the foundation that you'll learn today on this session will weave in over the next 4 Saturdays. This is session 1. We'll have 3 more sessions for you to really understand the basics of finance, wealth building, and mindset. It's important as we look forward to the future that we take care of ourselves first, right? Yes, there's so much opportunity out there. And if you're an entrepreneur listening to this message, I'm sure you understand it's a very busy world. And the busy world will keep you busy, and it will keep you busy, and it'll keep you distracted, and it will keep you until the last minute, where I see people not having a retirement plan, not having the basic understanding about financial instruments. And, unfortunately, our little ones, they inherit that model. And so I have brought the best of the best in the industry to share, well, how do we actually develop, save, and have good habits with money as a basic foundation? And so thank you for showing up. I want to get started and introduce you to Adam. He is handling a lot of our curriculum in the background, helping entrepreneurs go to the next level, having entrepreneurs think like investors, act like investors, and number one, investing in themselves. And so I wanted to bring you to the stage. Adam, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Brandi, for having me and for just bringing and creating this opportunity to bring also awareness to even a lot of other sources of this mindset, this mentality, this education together and to build. And I love again the ABCs that you shared, right? to have the awareness of what's out there, building together as well. I believe in the power of 1 + 1 = 11, and then cultivating that growth as well. All in a common community. So thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely. Let's humanize money for a moment and just kind of build where money shows up in your body. I'm a holistic practitioner, and the basic fundamentals of currency reside within this very special machine that we have, which is our physical realm, right? Sometimes when you talk about money, and you can speak to this too, Adam, is I get really anxiety driven at times when I think about, well, budgets, awareness and assessment. What does that actually mean? So let's talk a little bit about awareness and assessment of your own personal finances, budgeting. Would you like to speak a little bit about budgeting and understanding how we create these budgets and maintain a healthy relationship with our mind and our physical realm when it comes to budgeting?
Absolutely. And this is also where, when it comes to what we call the end in mind, right? In order to also understand what we want to best budget today and what we want to prepare for, we also need to know where we're going. We have this thing we call a FIN number, a financial independence number. And that is just like in science and just like in any great vision or mission. If you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to end up somewhere else. So if you have clarity on that, then you can also have a better idea of what to budget for, how to budget, and that keeps the momentum going because it keeps you focused on the important things. So I also always believe starting with the end in mind.
Yes, and what if a person doesn't have a budget, let's say, and they're at that breaking point right now and they're hearing this message? What are the top 3 things that you would recommend them do?
First off, be present to where you are, to know that part of also the journey is being aware of what you do have. Take inventory of your current assets. And by assets, I don't just mean, financial assets, but your skills, your abilities, the value that you bring to your community, to your family, to your job, to your businesses. And I think that's the biggest part that most people miss in anything, in any industry, in any pursuit, is self-awareness. If I could create a pill to give to people that would give them increased capacity in any one arena, it would be self-awareness. So that's the first thing, right? Know what you have and don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt that you can accomplish things, because most people are just trying to get to next week or next month. And they just think, well, I can't have more because I didn't do this. I can't be more because I didn't come from this background. So 1, identify what you have. 2, know that it's possible. And 3, the question is, what's possible? Get clarity. Because if you have a plan, I can sit down with somebody who maybe they make, $500,000 a year actively. Maybe they're working 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week to make $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can also talk to somebody who has the treasure map to all their goals and dreams. Now, all their goals and dreams could be $500,000, could be $1 million, could be hundreds of thousands, could be millions of dollars, who knows? But it's exactly what they want. And if they know how to get there, if you have a plan, just because you're not wealthy yet, doesn't mean that you haven't succeeded if you're moving towards that progress, towards that goal. So identify your assets, know that you can do it, and know that you can do what? Well, whatever you want, but you get clarity on where you're going. And that's the keys to starting.
Yeah, ABC, the basic foundation is awareness. And we're talking tangible is to know where you're at, meaning look at your budgets. Don't be afraid. Like I originally stated, I used to get anxiety when I would open up my spreadsheet or my accounting as an entrepreneur and I would avoid it like the plague, and then all of a sudden taxes would come, and I would, again, last minute Lucy, try to figure it out. And that's not good for benefiting long term with tax benefits and planning righteously. I know a lot of us out there, especially if we're in the industry of helping people and helping others, sometimes we put ourselves last. I mean, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. I'm like, no, just go here, go there, do this, be the, the public speaker. But when I pull back the curtain and I say, how much did I plan for my family? And how long did it take for me to be successful in that space? I want to speak to that wound. I know you're out there. I know you're listening to this. I know you're probably trying to change the world. I know if you're anything like me and you're watching this right now, pause. Take a deep pause. And sometimes we have to go backwards to go forwards. And what I mean by that is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And when you open up that spreadsheet or your software, take a look at how much you have accomplished. That actually changed my relationship with budgeting. It was, oh, wow, I actually did really well in this area. Let's do more of that and measure those results. So understanding how to create and maintain a healthy relationship with your budget, and also being aware of your mental wellness while you're going through that practice, and asking for help is really a healthy way to move. So the next would be, just to summarize, financial goals. If we don't have a roadmap for our financial goals, then you don't know where you're going. It's just a navigation. And there's a lot of tools out there now. Like I said, opening up that spreadsheet, knowing what worked and what didn't work is a key to unlocking the prosperity that's waiting for you around the corner. And so I want to just say these are basics, I know, but let's set the foundation for feeling okay and being okay to go backwards to move forward, right? Getting out of your own way. And then the third piece is creating a nice habit for yourself. Maybe it is on Saturdays. Maybe it's tuning in here on this YouTube. Maybe it's, sitting down with your husband or your wife to look at your spending habits and to assess what you can cut back on and then invest in. What I mean by, and Adam, I want to hear from you for a second. What I mean is, when we pull back what we're spending it on, we're spending it on Netflix, we're spending it on our mobile, we're spending it on gasoline, we're spending so much when really we should see our children standing at the front line, if you have children, or if you're a caretaker of some sort, standing at the door and seeing Netflix, Amazon, your gas bill, see all those people standing at your front door, and then see the person who you're caring for as the very last person, and really reassess where you're spending your money, and rebudgeting to put that person who you care about the most, if it's you, put them in the front of the line and invest in that person. That's another habit that I changed, is putting me first, putting my family first. So I'll pause right there. I'd like to hear a little bit about you.
So, to the point of also not being scared to look at your budget, to look at where you are, whenever we sit down with somebody and we go through some of the fundamental education of just how compounding works and how taxes work, and even just understanding the power of risk out there, and the fact that it's also a lot simpler than the traditional industry might make it. We ask people this question, right? We go through a little questionnaire. We get an idea of what their numbers are, where they want to go. And then we ask, and I always love asking this, I go, so I got some good news and I got some bad news. Which one do you want first? And what do you think most people say? Oh, give me the bad news, right? Even if they say, give me the good news, I say, well, the good news is I'm about to tell you the bad news. And the reason I say that, to make it a little tongue in cheek and to kind of, bring some levity, is the bad news and the good news is clarity for most people, because they don't want to face the picture. They don't want to face their current situation. And therefore, they're most of the time going to be stuck in that current situation because they don't even know how to move out of it. And one of the first steps, and really one of the major differences between the wealthy and affluent versus everybody else, is, to your point as well, they do pay themselves first. We use that analogy all the time that you just shared as well. Having the people knocking on the door, collecting their bill, right? You're paying bills, but what's even better is when we start transforming that mindset. Instead of paying bills, let's collect bills. What I mean by that is, again, paying ourselves first. So I completely agree with that aspect. And then realizing that it's a lot simpler than most people think and what most of the industry makes it. And to be able to pay ourselves first, trusting in the energy and the mission of the world around us, trusting that there is good that comes from the faith of just taking that step. There is, it might seem like we're going through a tough period, whether we're, on an up in our life or down in our life. I always like to say, good. I don't like to say, oh my God, that's amazing, or oh my God, that's terrible. I just say, good. Let's keep moving, because what goes up must come down. So having faith in the process, to the point of paying ourselves first and knowing that all that stuff will take care of itself as well if we continue to put our focus in the right place.
I love that we're starting out this call. These are very chunked down size for us to have a deeper gratitude for who we are as people, not as products. And as we start to hone in some of these terms, because terms are like net worth or spending habits or financial goals. These are terms. These are agreements. Terms are agreements. We're agreeing to be a part of a system, which not always do I agree with, but I know that I have to have, and I speak from first person for a reason, is that I had to get out of my own way in order for me to have the things that I deserve. And I mean, working tirelessly up at all nights, trying to figure out this system, because I always thought I was outside the system. But it's not true. There is a system that can serve you. I'm going to bring up this next piece to the ABCs, which is net worth. One of the challenges I faced was I didn't want to look at my net worth because it meant that I wasn't worth anything because I didn't have it. And as I went through that emotional restraint, and again, that was a carryover from the parents, lack of financial literacy, lack of funds. It made me feel like I want to avoid that with all cost. So I want to share with our audience, net worth is your network. And your net worth is the ability to calculate and understand the net worth within your own ecosystem. An ecosystem is all the people and the players that you serve on a day-to-day. Those are going to be your raving fans. Those are going to be the individuals that are going to come to you at your banquet or your graduation, or be there to celebrate with you when you win. So if that is something that kind of pains you and it's been a sore in your side and you don't have net worth, we are at ABC level right now. That's why we're doing this. So I want to inspire you to look at your net worth, get really close, almost like you're dating your budget. You're in bed with your budget, and love it for what it is today. As Adam said, love it for what it is today. Okay, that's good. Great, that's working. No, that's not working. I'm going to move forward over here. Okay, I'm going backwards a little bit to move forward. And this is where I'm headed. And that's where I want to pause in the conversation. Because these are chunk down sizes. We're doing 30 minutes for 4 Saturdays to make sure that you feel comfortable and you can ask for help and you can reach out to us. And I have a team that's just ready for you to just kind of scrape all that old stuff, all those old beliefs, all those old ideas about your self-value, your values. Maybe you're rebuilding. Perhaps this is the time that you're going to share this knowledge with all of your network, right? Maybe you're in service to many people and you're on a mission and your purpose is to transform lives. And yet, it's kind of sitting there on the sidelines with lack of understanding. So I'm going to pause right now and know that we're here in service to help you go to the next level. Adam, this is just A. We're only hitting on AA today, which is all of those value systems, awareness and assessment for this one session. Is there anything that you want to add on budgeting, financial goals, spending habits, net worth?
Exactly to the point of also making this, a bite-sized chunk, something we share with people as well. Whenever we're looking at that plan, that future, how to get to where we're going. So again, awareness of where we are, awareness of where we're going. I use also this analogy, and I'll conclude with this for today as well. If I opened up a gym, I would encourage people not to come and take the classes, not to come and, do all their calisthenics and their heavy weightlifting. I would just tell them, come to the gym, smell the weights, just show up. Because what is the toughest part of working out is getting to the gym, is going out, is starting the process. So creating something that is sustainable, that can help you build those habits, that can help you build bit by bit over time. The classic example of doubling a penny over 30 days versus having $10,000 a day for 30 days. And the power of compounding, the power of focus, and the power of consistency, making it something that's approachable for anyone and everyone. So that mindset to whatever you're doing in life. I learned something years ago called the power habit. Pick something that every single day you can do and without doubt.
Yeah.
And that will build upon itself.
And I like that we're able to do these 30-minute snaps and accelerate the consciousness of the individual watching today, knowing that we're all in this together. No one is left behind. And the reason why I wake up, and I'm sure Adam can speak to this, every single day we are changing lives so that we can all have a beautiful, healthy relationship with this experience that we have on this planet. And so if we plan it right, then, we get to celebrate together. So the next few videos are going to be all breaking it down for us. Adam spoke briefly about saving a penny. He'll get into that on our next call next Saturday. We're going to move into the AB portion of this call, which is building blocks of financial stability. We'll talk a little bit about saving and developing habits that are saving, and also including building an emergency fund for yourself. We'll also go into what debt management is, and understanding how the different types of debt works for you, and also interest in managing to pay off them effectively. And, there's other areas. I don't want to give it all away, but please do show up, sign up for our tickets on Eventbrite. You'll get that in the link below here on YouTube. And if you know anybody, maybe this isn't for you, maybe you're already wealthy and you're just curious because you follow me or you follow Adam. There's a lot of people out there right now who do not have the knowledge to understand the building blocks of wealth. And I think it's really important that we onboard as many people as possible. $100 million company is 100 million souls out there that can have a different perspective on wealth and longevity. So I invite you to sign up. And my last words are, you're worth it. You're valuable. Nothing can stop you when you have knowledge. And when you are transferring that knowledge to others, it comes back to you and it reaps benefits over and over and over and over and over again. Adam, any final and last words for our audience?
My last words are, keep going. Whatever you're doing, keep going, because you're either going to go further into the pain that you don't want to deal with, but then you're going to become more aware of it, or you're going further into the success that you want to accomplish. But no matter where you are, keep going. And to the net worth, right? Be conscious of those around you and find those that are looking for you and find those that are looking for what you're looking for as well. Keep
Yes.
it. Thank you, Brandi, so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Again, everyone, we applaud you for showing up. Please share this video, ask us questions below, subscribe to the channel, and we will continue to build these blogs together. And I can't wait to do this case study at the end of the year to know where you're at. So be honest. You can also fill out the form. I'll make sure that is in the comments, the Wealth Mastery Survey, where you're truly at. Just getting really honest. All is here to serve you. And until next time, thank you for showing up. We'll do this again next Saturday, and we'll see you when we see you. Thank you again. Bye for now. Thank you, Adam.